Probably my favorite thing to do with maple syrup, this might sound a little bit crazy, but I love putting it on cereal and in milk. When I do that, I end up drinking all the milk. Then I have to put more in and do it again because it's got that maple in it. That's really my favorite thing to do with maple syrup. I love it on my cereal. Ronk Family Maple Farm. We make maple syrup here, and we have 250 trees tapped at the present time. We harvest the maple syrup, and then we take that syrup and sell it, and we also make a whole lot of value-added products with that maple syrup. Well, my grandfather inherited this from his father, that inherited it from his father. I'm the 5th generation here. But in 1971, we came down from Ohio with my grandfather and my dad, myself. Dad and I went up to the family cemetery and hiked around, and I said later on, just a few years after that, I had told my dad, I said, someday I'm going to live on that farm, someday. In 2006, my wife and I sold out, and we moved our family here with our 4 children. And my dad gave us the farm, said you can move there and do whatever you want with it. Well, at that time, we were not tapping trees. I was visiting a friend in Ohio and helping him with his trees. And finally, he said, how come you're not tapping trees? And so I said, they don't tap trees in West Virginia. At least I didn't think so. And so I got looking how many trees we had, and he gave me his evaporator, and I set it up behind me here underneath the canvas and started tapping trees with buckets my first year and second year, and quit. I said, I'm not doing this no more. It's too much work. You got to be short-legged on one side to walk around these mountains, you know. So then I found out about tubing, that you can run from tree to tree. Most people in West Virginia do not use buckets. They use tubing. So I tapped the first 250 trees, which that's still what I have, and make my maple syrup here. West Virginia is very unique in so many different ways, and when it comes to maple syrup, our percentage of sugar is not as high as it is up north. But in the north, the glacier went through and stripped all the topsoil. Guess what? The glacier didn't go through here. We have very great topsoil here. But not only that, we still have all the minerals and vitamins that come right up into that sap and right into our syrup. We literally have the best syrup in the world. And I'm not just saying that because I live here. We really do. I'm 64 years old, and we don't live forever. So I want to leave a legacy here for my grandchildren. Because so many years before I took this farm, it sat vacant. I don't want that to happen ever again. I want this to always stay a working farm here in West Virginia and just continue on for centuries.
One of the things I like best about visiting Ronk Farms was how they were rooted in their past and in their heritage, but they were looking to move forward into the future. And I think that's a very important thing for us to do as part of Appalachia, and it was something I wanted to show in this dish. So we all grew up with fried chicken, right? It's something that we know, that we're familiar with, but I wanted to elevate fried chicken and show it in a new and interesting way and really demonstrate the diversity of maple syrup. So what we have here is a very simple, true Appalachian dinner, right? It's fried chicken, green beans, and sweet potato. But we're gonna kick it up a notch, and we're gonna use maple syrup in all these dishes. What we have is sweet potato done 3 different ways. First, we roasted a medallion of sweet potato. Then on top of that, a nice savory sweet potato mousse. And on top of that, some fried sweet potato shoestrings. And I worked the maple syrup into that sweet potato mousse, but it's still more on the savory side of things. I worked a little sour cream in there, so I'm playing with flavors that are a little bit different than what we're used to when we see sweet potatoes or maple syrup, which is just candy, sweet, sweet, sweet. We want to do something a little more interesting, a little more developed. Then we've got our sauteed green beans with roasted chestnuts. I grew up with a chestnut tree in my house, and I think that is a very Appalachian ingredient, but I don't see it very often. So I wanted to roast some chestnuts, put that in with garlic, some oil, and saute these green beans up and finish it off with some of Ronk's delicious maple mustard. On top of all of it, the coup de grace is this maple chili crunch fried chicken. It's spicy, it's sweet, it's crunchy, it just hits all the notes. So we have this beautiful dish. It's got all these colors, this beautiful height, and it is sure to delight. If you can get your hands on this dish, you're not gonna be sad. And if you can get your hands on some Ronk maple syrup and maple syrup products, you're gonna make delicious things in your own home.
When you called me and said we were going to do this dish with the Ronk maple, I was instantly on board. I have had the pleasure of going to the farm. I've had the pleasure of tapping the tree. I've had the pleasure of watching the skill that it takes to take it from the tree and then all that he does with it. It's easy to start out with a good product. Add a little bit of salt, add a little bit of pepper, put it together. You buy, I think, the best and the most local and try to do as little to it as possible. That seems kind of an oxymoron for a chef because we want to like manipulate everything and turn everything on its head and deconstruct and molecular gastron and all the things. But, you know, when you have a product like this, you don't need to do anything.
And it smells wonderful. It's good. Really good.
Delicious. I'm anxious to try the green beans with mustard. I have never thought to do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
We bought stuff right down here.
I don't think we'll be doing green bean casserole at Thanksgiving anymore.
It's time for some maple mustard green beans.
Who knew maple could do this much?
I have no words. You see, without the maple syrup, though, it just tastes like chicken and green beans, right?
Exactly.
And then I didn't even know about the maple mustard until we went down to the farm. And I'm like, this is going to go killer with these green beans.
The green beans and the mustard, the maple mustard, the chicken, I mean, this pairs so well. This was special, very special.